So that's also the reason why people say, this guy likes to build his own team and so on. If you run an organization, you want a team that can deliver.
竞选公正党署理主席一职的拉菲兹素有爆料王之称，被指为人过于雷厉风行，喜爱拉帮结派，更有人形容他好胜心太强。对于这种种的形容，拉菲兹在接受《新洲日报》和百合专访时就回应，无论做人还是做事，都要有原则、有底线。他也不容许一粒老鼠屎坏了一锅粥。
Most of the time, there is no gray area, especially when it comes to principles. I don't think there is, too much gray area in this country when it comes to, issues like corruption, mismanagement, progressive politics versus, racial politics. Of course, people can argue about tactical or strategic means to achieve something. Even then, it's not really gray area because if any tactics or any strategy, even though you think it will bring you closer to your objective, but it betrays your principle, then we shouldn't even go there. A lot of politicians or a lot of my critics try to paint a negative picture of me because I am uncompromising when it comes to those. We hate lompat kata, we hate all these things. If you allow them to justify and becomes a grey area. So I'm not apologetic at all. I know that, especially with the Chinese community, because I suppose, Chinese voters and political commentators have been brought up to try to accommodate one way or another because, the largest group has always been Malay and therefore, the so-called the art of politics for Chinese communities for the last 50 years is about how to accommodate to get the best outcome. I think that's the problem that we have. That uncompromising stand about principles, about right and wrong, also translate to the way that I do things. The problem with politicians in all parties in this country is that more often than not, delivery does not matter. So it's always about how many other people you can convince to support you, whether or not you can deliver or do the job. And that's why, if you want to so-called go up, you have to make as many friends as possible. When you make as many friends as possible, you have to embrace every single Tom, Dick and Harry. More often than not, they don't necessarily contribute much. So that's also the reason why people say, this guy likes to build his own team and so on. If you run an organization, you want a team that can deliver. If I am being accused of being difficult to work with people, I'm not apologetic again because it is in the best interest of the public that we promote the kind of leaders who are competent, who are honest, who are uncompromising about delivery. Because if we win, you want good ministers. You don't want people who basically become a minister just because they're bodek. He can, you faham lah, all that culture, apple polishing semua. That's how we end up with the kind of ministers we have before. The public doesn't understand that within a group or organization, these people sometimes don't do anything. They go to meetings, say things, and then, they sit, they spend more time at kedai kopi. So that's why when we become government and after Sheraton moved, we have a problem to pick the pace up again. Because we have a lot of people who basically just wait for Anwar Ibrahim or Lim Guan Eng or Pakatan leadership to do something. The public wants political parties to be extremely tough on politicians so that we have competent people that are being pushed forward rather than allow, embrace everyone, because one bad apple, the whole party, the whole government will suffer.